What's going on, guys? Comes back again on another MLB The Show 18 Diamond Dynasty video, and of course today we have our weekly or bi-weekly, I guess, roster update predictions, this time for October 5th, this Friday of course. But to bring to your guys' attention real quick, on Thursday we will be getting a new Immortal event featuring 2 Immortals. Make sure to look out for that October 4th on Tuesday of course, and then also on Friday along with the roster update we also are getting the September Player of the Month program. As always, I will have my predictions out for that tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned for that video. But now getting into this roster predictions, once again we have our usual 15 players. We are going to start with our offensive 5 upgrades, and we're going to start in Houston of course, and that will be with Yolieski Gurriel. So in his last 14 games against lefties, he's hitting .625 with a 1.875 slug, 3 home runs, 4 total extra base hits, .378 against righties, .432 slug, no home runs, 2 extra base hits, 0 walks to 5 strikeouts. Of course, you guys can see right now, his contact and power are both pretty low. His contact did get nerfed earlier on in the year. I expect both contact to go up quite a bit, especially lefties at .625, as well as his power too. His power is really undervalued. I think before he was a 78 overall. I think he's going to be a 78 overall again, maybe a 79, but I'm going to go conservative and say a 78. But of course, Houston probably going to play deep into the postseason. Always a chance for him to go gold yet this season. Now moving over to Washington, who unfortunately did not make the playoffs, to a lot of people's surprise. Of course, a lot of people thought they were, which leads me to believe this guy might be out. But anyway, Anthony Rendon, of course, in his last 14 games, and keep in mind the season is over, so the last 14 games that he played, versus lefties batting .313, .688 slug, 1 home run, 3 total extra base hits, righties batting .433, .833 slug, 3 home runs, 6 extra base hits, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So now Rendon sitting at an 83 overall. He's got decent fielding and decent speed, so that does help. It's possible. I don't know for sure if he's going to go diamond. Honestly, I think I'm going to say an 84 overall, because obviously his contact and power righties both have quite a bit to go. But .433, .833, that is solid enough numbers. If they're generous and they feel bad for Nationals fans, maybe they push Rendon over to an 85. But honestly, I kind of think they're only going to make him an 84 overall. But do not be surprised. I would not advise against investing in him. He's only going for 1.5. So if he does go diamond, you guys can make quite a bit of profit off of him. So I would recommend buy a couple of him. You never know. He definitely could go diamond. Next up is Michael Conforto for the New York Mets. Of course, in his last 30 games left, he's .278, .583 slug, 3 home runs, 5 total extra base hits. Righties hitting .289, .632 slug, 6 home runs, 13 total extra base hits, 13 walks, and 24 strikeouts. Now, his vision might go up a couple ticks, maybe, it's possible, but really we're going to look at lefties. He's hitting .278, so that definitely deserves a boost for his contact, and power maybe at a .583. They adjust that a bit. I think his contact really is the main thing we're going to look at here. If they decide to move his power a bit and his vision, I think he can go gold. If not, I do not think it's going to be enough. I'm going to say a 79 overall for Conforto. Once again, there is always a possibility if he does well in the... Oh, wait, the Mets didn't make the playoffs. My bad. Hey, come on. At least DeGrom won the Cy Young, man. Come on. Don't hate me that much. But moving on to the next one, we have the almost Triple Crown winner, Christian Yelich. In his last 14 games against lefties, hit .400, 1.400 slug, 3 home runs, 4 total extra base hits, righties .483, 1.069 slug percentage, 3 home runs, 9 total extra base hits, 14 walks to 7 strikeouts. I think the vision is going to go up. His power needs to go up a lot. I think he finished with 36 or 37 home runs, and like I said, he almost won the Triple Crown. I think he was literally 2 RBIs off of Javier Baez. He's going to be the NL MVP. It's between him and DeGrom, in my opinion. 85 overall, way too low. I think he's going to get a big boost in his power and his contact too, probably at least an 87 overall for Yelich. Yeah, fair to say the Brewers definitely won that trade. But moving on to the Rockies, who did win the division. No, actually, they did not. The Dodgers won the division, I think. Yeah, the Dodgers. I'm stupid. Never mind. Disregard that. Charlie Blackmon in his last 30 games against lefties hit .310, .571 slug, 3 home runs, 5 total extra base hits. Righties .373, .657 slug, 3 home runs, 12 total extra base hits. Of course, you guys already know the story. He was diamond earlier in the year. Do I think this is going to be enough? Really, it has to do with the power, especially because his arm strength is so bad, which really is what hinders this card from being diamond, because his offensive numbers are already pretty good, but it all depends how much do they want to move his power numbers. I think he's done enough to make an 85 overall. He had a great last year, and he really bounced back this year. I think they're going to give him back to an 85 overall. And even if they don't, once again, the Rockies are going to be playing in the wild card game. There is always a chance that they go ahead and do something. And, you know, Blackmon can go diamond there. But I will say that he will be going diamond in the update regardless. For a pitching 6, actually, we're gonna start with Blake Snell, and of course you guys know I'm a huge Rays fan. 1.24 ERA, 134 opponent batting average, 0.79 whip, 44 strikeouts and 10 walks in 29 innings pitched. Now Blake Snell, in my opinion, is the American League Cy Young, and that's not biased, that's just facts, you know. But the weird thing about him is, even though he is one of the best pitchers in the league this year, I don't know necessarily if he's going to be a diamond just because his other numbers aren't necessarily there. I think his velo and his break are kind of underrated, so if they decide to move that, maybe it'll help. But I think his hit and K9 both can move. Obviously his walk 9, 10 walks and 29 innings pitched, they're not going to move that up. I'm going to say an 83, hopefully an 84 for Blake Snell. I really wish he was diamond, but I'm going to be realistic. I really do not see it. Moving on to the next one for the Braves, Mike Foltynewicz. He had a great season, and it would be a travesty if he does not end up going gold. 3.09 ERA, 197 opponent batting average, 0.81 whip, 28 strikeouts and 10 walks in his last 32 innings pitched. Once again, his walks 9 will not change, but the hit and K9 definitely can move a couple of ticks. I think it only is going to need about 3 per hit 9 and 3 per walk, or 3 per K9. And that's really going to be enough for Foltynewicz to get gold at an 80 overall. He's going for about 400 stubs right now. I think you guys should definitely invest in him. I have pretty high hopes on him going gold in the roster update. Next, another pitcher, of course, in the desert, we have Robbie Ray, who is an interesting one. 2.2 ERA, 145 opponent batting average, 1.1 whip, 45 strikeouts and 20 walks in his last 32 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's got a 44 walk 9 for good reason. That's not going to move. That's going to stay the same, but I think he can still get gold otherwise. You know, he has a 145 opponent batting average and only a 75 hit 9. I think that is going to be enough for him to get to an 80 overall gold, and he's not going for much at all right now. I would recommend throw some stubs, get some stock in him. I have pretty high hopes on that because his hit 9 definitely would speak volumes into saying he should be gold. Next, Walker Buehler. If he does not go gold, I really don't know what else to say. He had a big game today in the Dodgers. In the Dodgers game against the Rockies for the division, he had a 1.62 ERA, 137 OBA, 0.77 whip, 45 strikeouts and 12 walks in his last 39 innings pitched. Previously, his issue was his walk 9. He's worked on that, and his hit and K9 have quite a bit of ways to go. I'm gonna say maybe even like an 81. His stamina can move some way as well. Walker Buehler has been very, very good for the Dodgers this year. If he's a rookie, I think he qualifies for Rookie of the Year. Does he not? I believe he does. If he does, I think there's a good chance he's going to win National League Rookie of the Year. Then we have one more pitcher for the Dodgers, and that will be Hyun-Jin Ryu. 1.5 ERA, 261 opponent batting average, 1.1 whip, 30 strikeouts and 3 walks. That's really the key. He's not walking guys. He's striking out a lot of guys. I'm going to say like a 76 overall for Hyun-Jin Ryu. Not really much else to be said right there. Once again, if he does pitch a good postseason, there is always a chance that he could go up. And I forgot that we have one more, and that's going to be Corey Knebel. He's been lights out. 0 on the dot ERA, 0.96 opponent batting average, 0.49 whip, 33 strikeouts and 3 walks in his last 16 innings pitched. He went down from gold earlier. Fair to say he's going back up. The hit 9's going up. The K9 might move at 33 strikeouts and 6 innings pitched. Honestly, insane. His teammate Hader got moved up, so I think he actually has a pretty good shot at getting the upgrade once again to a gold, maybe an 81 overall possibly. But now moving on to our downgrades, and we're starting with Jose Ramirez. And you just hate to see stuff like this because at one point he was my AL MVP pick. Of course, not anymore. He's only batting 270 with the 550 slug overall in the entire year at this point. But versus lefties in his last 14, 133 opponent batting average, 267 slug, no home runs, 2 extra base hits, righties hitting 143, 286 slug, 1 home run, 2 total extra base hits. His contact really is what's gonna kill him. It's fair. I mean, his power, they really gave him some generous upgrades in my opinion this year, some that I did not expect. I'm gonna say maybe an 88, maybe an 89 overall, but I think he definitely deserves a downgrade. He has not been hitting very well at all. Even though he still had a fantastic season, it really died down towards the end of the season, and that's really what killed his chance at an MVP, because I think he had a great shot, but in my opinion, it will be Mookie Betts for the AL. Moving over to the Mariners, we have 2 downgrades, starting with Nelson Cruz. He did not have a great season in his last 14. He had 300 with the 500 slug versus lefties, which is fine, but we're going to look at righties. He hit 0.74, no extra base hits, no nothing, so 0.74 slug, 5 walks, 18 strikeouts. I think his power might move down a little bit, and his contact definitely should go down. Nelson Cruz, I think he's still going to be a gold at an 80, and it sucks because this is a guy who, you know, is cheap, and he's a budget baller. He's got a good swing, he's got good stats, he's got hella arm. A lot of people like him, which sucks that I think he does deserve a downgrade though, so I think an 80 overall. I do not think he's going to go silver, but a downgrade is fair. One more for the Mariners. In his last 30, Gene Segura against lefties hitting 182, 364 slug, 1 home run, 2 total extra base hits. Righties hitting 238, no nothing, 238 slug once again, 8 walks, 4 strikeouts. Of course, he doesn't really have much power, so we're not going to take anyway, but his contact is too high. Even if they only move it like 5 per side, it will be enough for him to go down to a 79 overall, and I think that's what's going to happen. He will be a silver in the next roster update on Friday. And then finally, our last one, and once again, it pains me to do this, but Ozzie Albies in his last 14 against lefties hitting 182, 440, 455 slug, 1 home run, 1 total extra base hit. Righties 118, 235 slug, 6 strikeouts, or 6 walks, 11 strikeouts. Albies, I was one of his strongest pushers. I really, I put him a lot in my best to invest, in my roster predictions for him to go up, but unfortunately he's not hitting for much power, and you know, like I said, 182 against lefties, 85 is just too high. I think he will stay at a goal because he has the speed and defense to keep him there, but I'm going to say an 80 overall for Ozzie Albies, which sucks because he's really exciting to watch, and I think the Braves have a great big future, of course, but Ozzie Albies, just like Jose Ramirez, he started strong, but kind of, you know, finished slow, and that will be the end for this roster predictions. The last one that we have for the regular season, I don't know exactly the schedule that they're going to do with the postseason. Maybe they just do one at the end. I'm not really too sure. Of course, you guys will know, you know, just as soon as I do, whether or not what they decide for that. But of course, like I said, Immortal event coming out on Thursday, and then POTM coming out on Friday as well. If you guys have your own thoughts and opinions, and guys, who's gonna go up, gonna go down, anything in the between, let me know down below in the comments. As always interested in who you guys think is getting the upgrades. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like down below. Hope you guys are growing today, and there you guys comes out. Yeah.